with you to hopefully help y'all become better informed investors, man. Salute to y'all for pulling up on the channel. This video is quickly just why I believe Robinhood will 100% be listing Shiba Inu after this. So stay tuned. We're going to go into this, but first we got to talk about Robinhood's current state with its users. So Robinhood loses active users in the fourth quarter. Forecast week revenue. So Robinhood anticipates first quarter revenue of less than 340 million, down 35% compared with 2021. Wall Street expected 448.2 million in revenue for quarter one, according to fact sheet. Monthly active users fell to 17.3 million last quarter from 18.9 million in the third quarter. Robinhood is also about to face its toughest comps in the first and second quarters of 2022 following its record year in 2021 from events like the GameStop short squeeze. So a couple things we can mention on this. The lawsuit with the GameStop short squeeze thing, where a lot of about 65,000 people being represented by a certain firm was just basically dismissed. So a lot of people are unhappy about that right now. So they're losing some users because of that. Then also they're losing revenue in turn from that. And a lot of people know in 2021, a lot of the majority of their revenue was coming from the fees, or 2022 especially, were coming from the fees of dogecoin. Now, a lot of people expected them during 2021 to list it because they would make a lot more money, but this is the one thing I feel Robinhood is waiting for, and that is the XRP or Ripple lawsuit to be over with. That case right there will be a precedent basically in the crypto space, which will determine, are these certain assets looked at as unregistered securities or not. And I got an article here quickly we could take a look at. I want y'all to look into this yourself, and then we'll go into what the CEO of Robinhood actually says about, well, first let's go over that. So Robinhood CEO explained why he's resisting calls for accepting Shiba Inu. Robinhood Markets is under tremendous pressure to add Shiba Inu to its tradable instruments list, but has not made a final decision on the matter. New information indicates that there could be a plausible reason for the trading app's non-action. What happened? The when Shiba question was unavoidable for Robinhood executives on their earnings call held late Thursday. In a Q&A session moderated by Irvin Shah, head of investors relations and capital markets, the trading app's co-founder and CEO Vlad Tenev gave a roundabout answer to this persistent question. Shay brought up a question regarding whether Robinhood plans to open trading to their cryptocurrencies and whether the trading apps is going to list Shiba Inu. In reply, Tenev said they have been hearing from customers loudly. We know they want more cryptocurrencies on the platform. He knows everybody's talking about Shiba Inu. And we've actually been proactively engaging with regulators. So right there, that's his quote. That's his sentence on his response to that. So let's go over that again. We know they want more cryptocurrencies on the platform, and we've actually been proactively engaging with regulators. So he said, we know, we're not ignoring it. We see it's right there. Every employee has to be letting them know. Nobody could ignore that fact. That's probably the biggest question in the office. They probably all can't wait themselves. But he said he's actually been proactively engaging with regulators. So that means he's looking, basically for that clearance or the go ahead, to be green lighted and be able to, list Shiba Inu without any consequences. This space is still very new. So a company like Robinhood doesn't want to, risk potentially listing an unregistered security to its brokerage without having that clarification from the SEC, because then that could technically tie up Robinhood and make them be breaking the law. Now, yes, they want to make money, but nobody wants to make, well, not nobody, but they're not trying to make money more than they definitely care about breaking the law. Let's say that they don't want to end up in prison behind trying to list certain assets that shouldn't be issued or listed. So I think once we see this case get some type of decision made on it, which I think the case, this is not financial advice, none of this is, it's just my opinion, but I think it will be dismissed because they're kind of dragging it out. Normally when they got a slam dunk, they kind of don't need anything else, but it's kind of being dragged out. So I'm hoping, with an optimistic point of view that, the case gets dismissed. We could see, Ripple move forward, XRP, starts to thrive again, and a lot of other exchanges will start to feel safer about, the decision that's made, after that. Now, this is something, I want y'all to look up on your own. This is just something, you should have as a base to, your crypto knowledge. But learning what is an unregistered security and how to determine if something is an unregistered security or not. Now, I do not believe Shiba Inu is an unregistered security. Now, we're going to go through, the law, state regulations, and determine, what the IRS or, these institutions determine, or the SEC declares as being, an actual security that should be registered. Now, from my readings, I interpret this as Shiba Inu not being one. And we'll go over this in a quick second. I want y'all to really, I'll try to, summarize this, but I really want y'all to dig into this, yourselves. But as previously discussed, so cryptocurrencies and the Securities and Exchange Commission, as previously discussed, in addition to the state regulations and FinCEN rulings pertaining to digital assets and cryptocurrencies, there are a host of other federal agencies with regulations that affect the industry. The Internal Revenue Service determines how digital assets and cryptocurrencies are taxed, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has oversight regarding the derivatives built around cryptocurrencies. Additionally, the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, has the authority to regulate all assets deemed a security, which can include a variety of digital assets depending on the characteristics of that specific asset. This article provides a high-level overview of the SEC's stance on cryptocurrencies, initial coin offerings, and crypto exchange traded funds. So the SEC is a federal agency that regulates the security markets within the United States. The SEC enforces certain disclosures, requirements, and financial filings in the name of protection against market manipulation. Where they want to, we'll just say, that, but issuers of securities need to be registered with the SEC, as well as financial service firms and the professionals of those firms. The SEC has regulations over securities, and a security is generally defined as a financial instrument that holds some type of monetary value. This includes instruments such as stocks, bonds, options, and investment contracts, among many other instruments. More specifically, in terms of cryptocurrencies, the determination of whether a cryptocurrency is an investment contract is critical. If the cryptocurrency is determined to be an investment contract and therefore a security, it is subject to SEC regulation and must either be registered or be subject to an exemption from registration. Now we're going to get into, the core of how to determine that. So something called the Howey test. So the Howey test in cryptocurrency is the standard to determine whether a financial instrument is an investment contract and is therefore subject to SEC regulation. This is a three-part test in which the Supreme Court determined that an investment contract exists when there is 1, an investment of money, 2, in a common enterprise, and 3, with a reasonable expectation of profit derived from the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others. If an asset does not meet all three prongs, it is not an investment contract and not a security. Importantly, the SEC has stated that neither Bitcoin nor Ether are securities under the Howey test. That's very important. But also specify that whether a digital asset is an investment contract at a particular time is unique to both the asset and the facts and circumstances at it is being sold or resold. If the Howey test is satisfied, then the issuance of the asset must be registered with the SEC or be eligible for SEC exemption. Now, we already got some precedent with Bitcoin and Ethereum basically being labeled, or they're not securities, my bad, y'all. But Shiba Inu, I believe, is following that same path with, Ryoshi's vision of it being, a decentralized community ran token. Now, one thing that's very important here, number 2, in a common enterprise with and number 3, with a reasonable expectation of profit derived from entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others. Now, I could tell you that most of us did not invest into Shiba Inu based on, what we figured that, the managerial team would be doing, or even the dev team. I'm sure a lot of us, just aped into this project and believed in the community and where the project can go, because we understand the crypto and DeFi space. I did not jump into Shiba Inu and, because one, Shiba Inu doesn't even have a centralized team. They do have a dev team, but it's not like they are basically controlling the price. Yes, we have Satoshi, but Satoshi is a volunteer. So Satoshi is not directly, paid by the project, a manager of the project in that sense. So it's a little different. So Satoshi is basically a volunteer developer, and anybody in the community can be that. So that removes, that one centralized responsibility on one company or one team from being able to put that blame on them and say, if your efforts determine the price. It doesn't. It could definitely help, building more, tools around it, giving more use case and things like that. But I don't believe us as investors and holders and believers in Shiba Inu are just specifically holding only based on what the dev team does, because I believe this is a community ran token. I believe the community will make this token, do what it do. And now we could say there are some investors that are waiting for the team to do something, but it's going to be that handful of people that that expect the dev team to create a lot of different miracles. Now, you got to understand, this is a community ran token. If it's something you want to see, you can bring that idea, to life. All you got to do is put the people in place and do it. That's what Ryoshi said. That's what Satoshi did. That's all you have to do, y'all. So now let's go a little deeper into this and see, just to get a little bit more understanding. So payment for it, and make sure y'all hit the thumbs up, like button on this video to help push this information out so more people can learn about this, because this is very important information. So payment for a cryptocurrency with either fiat currency or a different cryptocurrency has been held to satisfy the first prong of the test. So okay, we understand that if you spent money on it or use another crypto, then yes, you satisfy that. That's 1 point. And you don't want 3 points. So the second prong can be met in one of three ways. First, if two or more investors pool their contributions and receive profits on a pro rata basis, there is a horizontal commonality. So none of us pooled our money together to invest into Shiba Inu. Now, that can be a gray area when it comes to ICOs and things like that. But us as investors, we did not, most of, I wasn't in the ICO or pre-sale or whatever of Shiba Inu. So most of us came, on our own accord and invested at our own time with our own money by ourselves. So shout out to y'all reaching out to the channel. I will tap in with y'all as soon as this video is over with. But also, if you want to get the course learning technical analysis to understand how to interpret the data on the charts, which is very important, reach out to me via email, DecemberDeMarco@gmail.com. Do not forget. That's for y'all that's ready to take things to the next level, man. We are making a lot of money on the back end with some of these other plays that we're getting in. Just because the market is falling does not mean there is not money to be made. People are making money everywhere right now. So tap in with me, DecemberDeMarco@gmail.com. But payment for a cryptocurrency with either fiat or a different cryptocurrency has been held to satisfy the first prong of the test. The second prong can be met in one of three ways. First, if two or more investors pool their contributions and receive profits on a pro rata basis, there is a horizontal commonality. Second, if there is a common interest between the investors and the promoter or a third party in which all the investors' success is tied to the expertise of the promoter or third party, there is a vertical commonality. Now right there, I believe gets us out of meeting all three of this, because that does not work. I am not in the belief, or I don't believe anyone else thinks that any one third party or any one person basically can control the success of Shiba Inu. I just don't see that. I wouldn't put that on Satoshi. I wouldn't even put that on Ryoshi at this point, because this is a community. This is fully decentralized. This is DeFi at its, finest, if you ask me. This is a fine example of what DeFi can do. So third, if the investors and the promoters share in the profits, there's a narrow vertical commonality. So if the asset, the investor funds, or the control over the asset is not held by a central entity, or there is not one person to whom the success of the asset can be tied to, the second prong of the Howey test is not met. So for that reason, I believe Shiba Inu is not a security. And with Shiba Inu not being a security, I am 100% confident. It's not financial advice. Don't go make any decisions off of this. Do your own due diligence. Make your own decision. But I believe, and I'm making my decision under the belief that Robinhood will 100% be listing Shiba Inu, and I do believe that will happen in 2022 as soon as we can see this XRP case wrap up, possibly even sooner. But I believe worst case scenario, we might see it happen during the fall of this year. Once we got to give this XRP case some time to kind of roll out and just play out, and we see check the sentiment again in a few months or so. But I think it's on the way, y'all. So let's take a look at Shib's price again real quick. So we're holding nicely. We're almost up 1%, still at that 2155 level. We found the bottom, y'all. I believe we found the bottom. I believe that 16's dip was a nice bottom. If something crazy happens right now, the markets are unsure. The markets doesn't even know. The markets are waiting for some type of positive news right now. Everybody's in agreement right now. When you see the price trading sideways like this, that means both sides are saying they're both equally pushing on both sides, saying, okay, right here is where the price will be. That's why you see it going flat. That's what sideways trading is. Pressure from the top, pressure from sellers, and pressure from buyers, keeping the price at a agreed upon level right there. That's what we're seeing. And when that happens for too long, the longer that happens, the bigger we should likely see a breakout. It could be to the downside or to the upside, but I believe we're going to see a bigger breakout to the upside, continuing our bullish momentum that we've been seeing. So this is the chance I believe that I'm operating under and trying to grab, is much strategically as possible at key price levels right now. As I see the price finding a nice floor here, definitely whenever y'all paydays or whatever, however y'all do it, that's not financial advice. Don't come crying to me, but you can throw a couple bucks on there if you know what I'm saying. If you want to add some more sheep to your position, I don't think that would be a bad idea, especially if you were buying in the 30s or in the 28s, 25s, 34 level, 45 level, or that 54 range. If you were buying in any of those ranges, or especially if you bought the top, if you bought at the all-time high, you should be buying as much sheep as you can buy. This is not financial advice. Remember, never risk more than you're willing to lose. Always keep that in mind. But as much as you're willing to lose, you should be buying as much as you can at this price. If you bought at the 8.8, you would be crazy not to be buying to, because why? It brings your overall cost down. So now when the price starts to go up, you don't have to wait till it crosses that all-time high again to be profitable. So if you want to learn how to interpret this data on the charts, again, I highly recommend you do so if you're serious about learning how to invest, because that's how you will be able to spot other opportunities in the market or other projects. A lot of these projects, like if y'all are in the private Discord or in the private Facebook community and y'all be catching these risky plays I throw out, a lot of the times I'm just simply using technical analysis, of course some other fundamentals as well, but mainly technicals, to be able to determine, are we getting in at a good price, and does it look like this asset will continue to move up? And that's how we make money. It's the buy low, sell high. That's all it is. So tap in with me, DecemberDeMarco@gmail.com. That's all we got for this video. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, and we are out.